Hi everyone, it's Helen here and thank you for joining me for today's tutorial. So this is going to be a tutorial on how to make this camper van using my classic campervan die set. Now isn't this absolutely gorgeous? And I'll also be using my new papers too. So these are some of the samples that I've made up already, and it is a gift box too, so this opens up so you can pop some really nice size goodies in there too. And I've popped acetate in the windows. Now just to quickly show you this one, this is one of my favorites too. This one is an ice cream van. Just need to put some sticks in there just to support that up, and on top I've popped on one of my ice cream dies. So this is actually a gift box too, so you can pop in some nice treats in there as well, so that just fits back together nicely. Right, let's have a quick look at the die set and then we can get on with showing you how to put this lovely camper van together. So this is the classic camper van die set. It's 14 dies, nice sizable dies, and it's super easy to put together as well. You get all these details too. Okay, so I've laid out the main dies there, and you also get all these smaller dies too for adding all of your little details. So I'm going to go through the main dies first. Okay, so you need to die cut 2 of this main die there. So I'm going to quickly layer everything up. So I've got 2 already cut out there. You're also going to need 2 of these as well, which I have, and I've already added my tape, so 2 of those. And this die here is what we're going to run through the machine to create the window detail, so I need to add that just to that section. And you're going to need 1 of these, and I've added some tape to the side with the straight edges. And you're going to need to run this through twice, or maybe even 4 times if you would like to double up your wheels. So I have my wheels here already, so if you run this through another 2 times, you can double up your wheels if you have something heavy that's going to go inside your camper van. And before we assemble everything together, we have the front of the van here. That's going to add some embossed detail, and it's also going to cut the windows out. And this is the back section here as well, so that's going to cut out the back window. So we've got the windscreen and the back of the rear window thingy, and it's going to emboss as well. Okay, let's clear the decks again and then I can quickly show you. I'm hoping I've made myself enough space here. Don't normally work with everything around me like this, but I do think it does look kind of nice at the same time, so we're going to see how that goes. If they get in my way, they're gone. Okay, so let's grab my platform. I'm using the Go Power and Emboss. Okay, so I've already die cut this main section, so I just need to add this die here. So I've already folded this over because it does all the score lines for you. So this section here runs along that score line. I'm hoping you'll be able to see it because it is a patterned paper, and sometimes score lines tend to disappear into patterned paper. So I've got a more or less even space either side. That is lined up. You can use some tape if you want to. I'm just going to run that through. Okay, as you can see, that has taken all of the windows out. Okay, so everything's cut out now. We've got the windows there, and this would be the point where you would add acetate on the back if you want to. So if you put a rectangle of acetate on there, you can then trim around the edges. You could pop vellum in there if you wanted to make it into a light up ornament. What else? You can even add little strips of fabric if you wanted to put in some curtains as well. That would look really nice. Okay, so let's make sure all of my lines are scored. We're going to move on to the next section now of adding in the detailing for the front and the back. So I have gone ahead and I've prepped as much as I can before the video. So these go in this orientation with the tabs on either side. They do not go top and bottom, they go either side. And I am going to use a bit of tape just to hold these in place. And now I'm going to run those through. Now this just goes to your ordinary die cut settings, as if you were using a die that cuts out, because these do have the window details on these too. Okay, so as you can see, it's done all of that detail. I'm hoping that is coming across, and these just come out just like that. And if you want to, you can go in with a pen or add embellishments just to make those accents a little louder, so to speak. You can literally personalize your camper van however you wish. Now there's one other detail that you can put on if you wish, and that is using this die here. Now this one here is going to do the handles, so before we pop it through and run it through, you would pop this just here, and that will pop in your handles. And let me give you an example. There we go. No, I didn't put it on that one. Where are the handles? Okay, there we go. We have some handles there for our camper van. There we are. They're causing trouble already. Okay, right. Right, so now it's time for assembly. What we're going to do first is we're going to glue these two together, except we have too many tabs, so it was easier to keep this die symmetrical instead of having a front and a back, because then that would mean we would need two different dies for the sides. So I'm just going to cut up the score line just on this one and trim off the tabs, but I'm only going to do this on one of them. There we go. So we can now pop these two together. And having the double layer on here is also going to create a nice strong base for the gift box too. Okay, so I'm just going to layer this on top. Okay, so I'm popping this right up to the score line, just like that, and I'm just going to turn it over, make sure it's straight, and that I'm able to lift this side up too. So you want to be able to have these both lifting up. Okay. Just switching glues now. So I'm just adding my glue to this tab here, and I'm going to pop this on. So there is an orientation to this. This is the bottom, so your windscreens need to be towards the top. That's going to go up like that. Okay, do the same on the other side. There we go. Right, so I haven't put them on upside down. Just double check that you haven't done that as well. Okay, so now we are ready for assembly. So I'm going to just take off the backing for these two. And then this is simply just the case of popping these together. Now normally I'd be standing up and doing this, but at the moment I'm sitting down, so I'm having a little bit of trouble getting the right bird's eye view for looking, but that is pretty good. Another thing, if you wanted to make stronger sides, is you can add this to the outside and then add another outside panel cover it. You know what, I haven't scored these, so I haven't folded the scores. There we go. Right, let's get this together. Hopefully I can get a better angle for this one. That's going together much better, but just find the right place to stand or sit just to get the right angles. Okay, so that is the front done. I'm going to fold these in this time. That's going to make it a lot easier. Now I find using the double-sided red tape is a lot easier on the tabs than going in with your wet glue. Okay, so that is our front and back. This is really coming together now. So if you wanted to actually make this into a handbag, you can do. You don't have to put the top on. You can, if you want, you can even trim off these top sections. So as an example, this is the Caravan die set, and there's an ice cream in there, but I haven't completed it as a Caravan. I've left the top off and I've turned it into a handbag, so you can do exactly the same with the Campervan too. Okay, so back to the Campervan. We now have something that now looks like this, so let's add on the top section. Here we go. So I've added my tape already to this side, and if you want to, you can cut a panel for the roof. There's no die for that, but it's a very easy measurement. So I would like my flap to start here, and then it's going to tuck in at the back. You can do it at the front if you want to. So I'm just going to pop that in there, slide that in, and just before I press it down, just line up the score lines. There we go. And then that is going to fold into here. There we go. We have a lovely gift box. It's coming along nicely. And now we can add on our wheels. So I'm just going to add glue just to around about the halfway point. And you won't be able to see it because of the heavy pattern on this beautiful paper. But there are some semicircles here that the die from the windows has also done the details for the doors, and it's done the details for the wheel section. I'm sure there's a name for it. Okay, so I'm just going to use my grid mat just to kind of help me gauge that they're both the same level, because we don't want a wonky van. You can get your ruler out as well just to make sure, but I am going to work quickly before the glue properly sets and then test the whole thing. And remember, if you're putting something a little heavy in here, double up or triple up your wheels just to make sure that the wheels don't bend due to the weight. There we go. I've got all of my wheels straight, so I'm just going to leave that alone now just to set. Don't want any wheels falling off. Okay, so I'm going to grab my ruler and I'm going to give you another measurement now for the top mat. So that needs to measure 4 7/8 by 3 5/8. So I'm going to cut myself another panel. I've got my paper here ready, so let's cut that out and then glue that on. Okay, let's get that glued on. That's looking very summery now. Okay, and there is our basic campervan. So I'm going to add some extra details around here, go around with my pen, and you also get extra dies so that you can make these side the mirrors there, the side mirrors there, and I also have these already cut out as well, so we can add these onto the side just like that for the roof rack. And that is the Campervan die set. So if you like this one, give me a thumbs up. This die set is available at Craft Stash, and all the links will be down below. So thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again next time.